everyone, but no one at the moment. Sinday school session. We are talking about stuff that you can do for the coming new year. This was a last minute session, so bear with me. You know, it'll be fun still, right? So, first of all, I do want to start talking a little bit about the new year. And I know with a lot of people, the new year starts not on January 1st. You know, some people celebrate it as Samhain, whether it's October 31st or November 1st, depending on their belief. They start their new year then. Or the solstice. Some people start their new year on the solstice. So what you believe in, what you consider the new year, obviously that is up to you to decide. But in the meantime, I do love bringing in a new year, going from 2019 to 2020 this time around, which is amazing. It's going to be so much fun. But there's a lot of different things that you can do. You know, my sister and I were talking about it earlier, about how a lot of people, a lot of people want to try and like lose weight or something, but they're not turning inward and they're not doing things that are spiritual for themselves that are going to put them on the next level. So we can do witchy resolutions instead of the normal, you know, I'm going to stop smoking or, you know, whatever. You're going to give up something. You're going to do something better for your life for the next year. So in our realm, so to speak, we should be going for more inward sort of intention settings for the new year. Again, it's up to you. I'm just here to give you ideas and maybe inspire you to do a working for yourself for the new year coming in. And you really, you know, you don't have to 100% do it on New Year's Eve, but you can within a few days, whatever, at your next earliest convenience, whatever. It's not, there's no strict schedule for this, but yeah, obviously, if you want to use the date, you use the date. So, there's a few different things that you can do. I'm not going to go too much everywhere. There's going to be some simple things because I know a lot of people are just starting on their path and they don't really, for one, they haven't done a spell yet alone at all or a ritual of any kind. So, you know, we do have a lot of different levels in the group of knowledge. With this one, where it's going to be more of like a basics. So I do have my books of herbs and root magic type stuff, which is so much fun and actually is considered hoodoo. So if you go off of herbs and stuff, you could look into the hoodoo realm and it would be fun. I usually use these two books because they are my favorite all-time herb magic books. And I'll put the links. Obviously it's backwards because that's what's happening. But we're going to use these as reference books while making our spell. This is going to be a basic type of thing. So if you are a beginner, you can have somewhere that you can start with all of this. So me personally, I would figure out what intentions I want to set for my new year. Whether it be better health, or you can be as specific as you want. If there is something that you have that you know you have, you can be specific and say you don't want this anymore. Whatever it may be, you're going to figure out your intentions. So most people want the good health. They want prosperity, whether it's financial or love, you know, or abundance of community. Whatever your intention is, they want that. Money, definitely. Everyone needs money to live. Unfortunately, we don't have the Venus project that is actually being implemented. So this is what we have to deal with. We're chasing the dollar. Hopefully most of us are trying to chase the dream too. But in 2020, I think it's big for all of us to you know, I feel like 2019 got us ready for 2020. We're building up and we're building up, and all the little, it's a butterfly effect. All the little things that are happening for a reason. All these things that happened in 2019 all lined up to give you a lesson or a reason somewhere along the lines. So in 2020, you can try and go to your next level. That's what I'm feeling from 2020. I don't know what you're feeling with it, but that's my take on this year. I feel like I am ready to get my crap together, so to speak, and really keep working at my goals, you know, and trying to get to the next level. So that's personally what I'm going to be focusing on with my New Year thing, is definitely getting to my next higher level. So you do that. Luck, you can do something for luck or self-love. I'm all about self-love, so I feel like that should go in all the good spells that you're trying to draw into yourself. You can always use, if you're doing a working on yourself, you can always use self-love. So you can use that. You could put crystals into this as well. You can put rose quartz. You can put quartz. You can put selenite. Definitely. See, I'm not the only one that feels it. I mean, that's just what it seems like, and it seems like it's like that for a lot of different people. So, and I'm hearing a lot of people say that we're ready. It's gonna happen. Maybe we say this every year. I don't know. But nonetheless, here we are today, trying to figure out what we want out of life. But you know, I feel like, especially with the newcomers and everything, you're in self-search. You're trying to find your thing, your path, your anything that, you know, makes sense to you. So I think focus is a great intention. I know clarity and focus, those are two huge things when it comes to you. If you want to get your dreams met, you're going to want clarity and focus to be able to show you the way of what steps you need to take. Obviously, another good one would be spirit guides. If you want to try and get contact with them through all this and get them to really, you know, try and get them to show you more, you can use that as an intention. Now, the coolest thing about spell work, okay, is that once you know the bones, you can apply it across anything you do, anything at all that you do. How I practice personally is I definitely use a lot of hoodoo and a lot of root work. It just helps the intention. Regardless, it's all energy work. So you don't necessarily need too many herbs or roots or whatever you're using, but you know, it's good to have some sort of boost. I feel like boosting never hurts anything, but it is all about your energy and what you want to happen. And that's the biggest thing. And if the greater whatever you believe in just, you know, makes it happen, you know, a lot of it really has to do with energy work, because you can get anything you want out of life. Anyone can. We all have the same opportunity. We all, I forget which person said it. I feel like it was a shark from Shark Tank. So yes, spirit guides, definitely. They're good to be in contact with. It's good to try and build a bond with them so you can obviously get your signs. Everyone has their signs and everyone has their symbols that tell them, hey, spirit guides, they're guiding me, you know, and I have to follow this path and I have to keep going this way. But yes, I don't know. I don't remember what I was just talking about. But you need all the bones of the spells. You can put them all across the board, and you can do different types of things. Like you can make gree or mojo charm bags, however you want to call them. You can make that out of anything. Like you can make a charm bag for anything. And it's really easy. And it's not even just herbs and roots that you can use. You can use crystals and charms and dirts. There's all sorts of things that you can utilize when making a charm bag. But you can make one of those for your New Year, and you can wear it on you throughout the year. That's the great thing about those, is that you can carry them on you. You can also, I mean, there's so many. It's so hard to, I should have probably wrote down a bunch of stuff. But you can do necklaces. You can get those little vials that they sell I used to have a bunch of them out here, but they're like this big. You can make necklaces out of them. You can go to Joann Fabric, Michael's, whatever. Any place that has jewelry making things you can go to, and you can get these Amazon, eBay. You can get little vials, and you can put whatever you want in it. Whatever you want in it. Whether it's a tincture or herbs and crystals, or, you know, the possibilities are endless. You can seriously do anything. Another thing that you can look into for the new year, you can do, if you look in our old spell work assignments, go into units within our group and go into spell work assignments, you can find or even the Sinday school session I actually did a video on how to make this. It's a mixture, it's a drink that you put a bunch of different intention-filled herbs into, and I know a lot of you did watch that. The drink was really good. It was made out of apple cider and wine and a bunch of different intention-filled herbs. And you can drink this during your new year. You can drink this in the change of the time. And you can customize it. You can do whatever you want to it. If you don't like apple cider, you can use pineapple juice, orange juice. You can use any kind of, you can even just use wine and cut out everything. Like, I'm telling you, the people that haven't done the spells yet because you think it's too complicated, scale it back a bit. 100%. So anyone could do this on New Year's Eve or close to get what they want out of this year. I promise you this. Don't hold me to that, because you have to do the work the right way, which is whatever you want it to be, but you have to do it. That's the whole thing. These are just my point of view on things. Obviously, like, you can make the witch bottles. You could potentially make the intention of the witch bottle a New Year theme. You can do the different herbs and stuff. For example, if you go to, I think, thevoodoo-store.com, if you go into their conjure journal, they have a tutorial on how to make a witch bottle. And you can go there and you can see what kind of ingredients you need, personalize it to you and what you feel like should go in there, and make your own little witch bottle. You can even have it in plain sight in your home. Just decorate it so people, or put it amongst other things, you know. So the possibilities are truly endless. You can make any kind of drink that you want. The recipe that we have, in the Sinday school session, you don't have to stick to those herbs, but in any kind of practice, holistic, whatever, practice like this, you do have to look into what herbs you can and cannot ingest, obviously. And usually if you have books like this, it will tell you do not ingest, or whatever. If you're pregnant, you shouldn't have it. There's certain things that you do need to look into when you're dealing with stuff that you're ingesting, or things that you're burning, or things that might touch your skin. Always look into stuff like that. There's certain ones that usually are pretty good across the board, which is like lavender, chamomile, mugwort. Typically, I mean, you can put mugwort in teas. You can smoke it. Same with wormwood. I mean, there's all sorts of possibilities. I should have had it outlined so I remembered exactly what I wanted to get across about this, but it's just, the possibilities truly are endless. And like I said, I'll post the link to this, but you don't even need to like memorize what each herb means. It is good to know, obviously, you know, that wormwood we burn when we're trying to communicate with spirits, or bay leaves for wishes and good fortune, cinquefoil for things that you can get, you know, dragon's blood for energy or booster in any spell. You know, once you start using things over and over again, you're gonna learn them. It's inevitable, which is really cool. So that's why you need to start doing things. And I'm not trying to be pushy and tell people to do things, because do what you want, that's fine, but everyone wants to get to their, I don't know why I have this, everyone wants to get to their next level. But they do. I think that's the whole point of this group, right? Is that we're all trying to learn and grow. Learn, connect, learn, and grow. Those are the top 3 priorities in this group. So, with that, with anything you want to do on New Year's, there's so many different possibilities, truly. I mean, you could do something that involves your ancestors too, you know, or something along those lines. You can get some ancestor dirt, some pictures, and rain in the year with your ancestors, whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. And, you know, the typical New Year is going to a party and, you know, doing whatever. Not me so much. I just stay home with my family. And I look fancy while doing it. But I'm at home and I don't have to go anywhere. And I can do my ritual things. I mean, at the same time, I guess you could if you're going to a witchy friend's house. But I guess it just depends on your circumstances, when and how you do all these things. These are just ideas. So, what time we have? I think I started pretty late. I started at like 8:45. But, I mean, it would be fun to have a witchy New Year's Eve party. You know, invite a couple of your witchy friends over. You can have a cool little community witchy thing happening, you know? Just ideas. Yes, exactly. We all pick and choose our path. That's the best part of all of this. You know, I know exactly. I know the feeling of not knowing how to even start when it comes to spells, because you read all the books. You know, I'm sure a lot of you have started reading books, and you start thinking, you know, maybe I can do these spells, but I don't have all this stuff that they think I should have. My open sign stuff. I'm not even. Sorry. But, you know, you just gotta dive in, and you have to realize that it can be quite simple. You don't have to have the acclimate, and you don't have to be calling the corners. You can, though. That's fine too. That's fun too. Nothing beats standing around a fire with some friends in a circle, you know. I'm down. But it can be very, very simple. And I hope you all know this. I'm sure most of you know this. I don't want to sound like a broken record because, you know, I'm sure I say this a lot. But you can start small. And you don't even have to have a deity. You don't have to have like a specific god, goddess, anything that you follow. You don't need that. I mean, eventually it might come to you. Maybe it never does, and that's fine too. You have to realize that it truly is. That's why it's all about in here. It's all about you and what you project and what your energy and frequencies are attracting. You know, it's but when it comes down to it, in the craft, like, it's best to make your own things, to do your own things, to be hands-on, to really put your energy and your vibrations and your needs and your wants and your soul into your workings from start to finish. You know, it's also good to, for example, I do like to purchase a lot of the voodoo store stuff because it's, number one, it's already done, and I 100% trust their recipes. You need to trust your source, and I 100% trust the recipes. You know, and everyone has their own shop that they do that for as well, and that's fine too. And you do put your own intention into it, but I will always say that it's best to, you know, make your own, even your tools and stuff. That you can be very, or, you know, we're Earth. We are Earth. We are of the Earth, and we can use its resources. You know, it is in abundance. It is. Yep, and you don't need a specific deity. And it's all good. But I'm excited for New Year's Eve. I have always loved the turn of the year. And maybe you don't celebrate your New Year on this, you know, December 31st. Maybe you do it in October or December, whatever the case may be. you can still do your intention. So obviously, to me personally, I'm trying to cover the year. I'm trying to give my year an outlook in my working. So that's why I'm focusing on the new year. And we're right there around the corner. So this is a great Sunday school session for that. Yes, and that's how it goes. That is how it goes in all of it. I mean, it even goes with like the tools of your trade. Sometimes you lose things, and usually that's a sign that it's fulfilled its purpose and it's time to move on. Like crystals, sometimes you lose crystals, and that's its way of saying it did its job. So, everything to me happens for a reason. It does. Obviously, to each their own, and we all have our own beliefs, and that's how it's going to be until the end of time. Just embrace yourself. Embrace your spirit and your soul, and be true to yourself, and don't be a fake person. We did decide unofficially, our second quote is just don't be a crappy person. Don't be a crappy person. We've got a witch for that. Don't be a crappy person. Those are words to live by. And they were born here in our group. Yes. So, I don't know. Not many viewers tonight. I know we were late, although it is 9:14, and that is my birthday, and 9:14 also means very good things. Go look it up. Angel numbers, 9:14. There's a homework assignment for you. Pay attention to numbers. Pay attention to everything around you. You got to pay attention to signs. You have to be looking for the signs in order to see them. Especially with spirit guides. That's what I'm talking about. So I think that is a great intention for the new year, is to see more signs from your spirit guides. I'll work that in there somewhere. And you can always look up the meanings of different herbs. I mean, it sometimes it's different throughout different. Yes, definitely good quotes. You heard it first. But definitely get books like this, just so you can be like, okay, I have, what do I have? I have all sorts of stuff. Wasp nest. I don't think that's in the book. But for example, you have wasp nest. So to me personally, it could be two different. There's a few different things that it can be, but my number one thing would be, I would put it in a curse. I would definitely put it in a curse or some sort of negative working of sort. Second thing would be something having to do with hard labor, hard work, and finally seeing the benefits from the hard work. Because obviously they created this nest with intention of successful hive. So it all depends on what you want the intention of that to be. Exactly. It is hard for some to quiet themselves. I know a lot of us have racing minds, but it's possible. You can definitely do it. But to sum this lovely Sunday school session up, it's about the new year, some ideas on things that you can do as far as spell work. So we talked about doing a Gree Mojo charm bag that you could wear throughout the year whenever you feel like you need it to kind of boost your spell's energy. And that you would fill with different intention-filled herbs, crystals, roots. And, there's all sorts of different things you could put into it, as long as it has meaning to you or whatever. You can put it in there. You can also, so that's one thing that you can do with it. You can also make a drink that you can drink during the change of the new year, which you can find a very good recipe in one of our previous Sunday school sessions, which covers the drink. I don't even remember what it's called, but it's me. I did it in my kitchen, and you make it on the stove, and you technically don't even have to, like I said, but it does help the herbs get into your drink. But you can make a drink. You can make it out of wine. You don't need alcohol. You can make it out of juice. The red wine was for, it's like the blood, it's the libation. But you can, instead of that, you can use something like grape juice or something. Or just use a juice. It doesn't really matter. Just as long as it has that intention that you put into it, that you want to see come out of your new year. 2020. My husband always says 2020 vision, because he wants to be focused. It's all about focus and clarity, and figuring out what you want out of life and getting it. So yes, you can do that. The drink, you can make a protection bottle. You can make a protection bottle, which you can put in your home, or you can make the four in the four corners of your home. And like I said, if you need, it's a witch bottle. I don't know what I said, but I think I said protection bottle. Mine are protection bottles at the moment. But you can make witch bottles with the intent of your new year, and you can put it in your home. Another example, which I did not mention yet, is like how we did the painting with a twist. And each of us, I gave anyone that wanted it the intention-filled herbs that I ground up myself. And it was all basically blessings for the solstice and all that. And we actually did it on December 21st, so it made it even more amazing. And it was a beautiful, beautiful painting. If you don't know about that, you can go to our official page and it'll be somewhere quickly. That was a great time. But you can do that at home. You can make yourself a painting, and you can put the intention-filled herbs into it and infused in your paint. You can even put sigils on the canvas before you start, and you can hang it in your home. And that'll be a constant, beautiful work of art. If you don't know how to paint, you can always go on YouTube and look up tutorials about how to paint a tree or whatever you want to paint. You can go and look up tutorials, and you'll find whatever it is you're looking for. Bob Ross. There you go. Do that. That's good. But you can make a cool painting. Didn't I say another one? It was the bottle. No, maybe that was it, because I started rambling like I do. I ramble so much. So at this point, does anyone have any questions? Any questions? I don't think so. I'm going to wait a second, see if anyone has any questions. I mean, you can also make... here's another idea. You can also make a candle. You can get some wax. You can go right to Michael's or Joanne, whatever, and you can get the wax, whatever kind you prefer to use. Obviously, if you want to be healthy about it, be healthy and whatever. And you can add your herbs to the wax, and it'll be a candle, or you could do a 7-day candle and do a fixing blend of sorts. There's so many different ideas that you can, the different types of magic, like I said, you can apply them to any intention that you need. Any intention that you need. Always. You found a few more? Oh, yeah, within all this. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. It is so much fun. I mean, like I said, possibilities are endless. You can go in any direction you want with all this. It's hard to just lay it all out. I should have made a list before we did this. But, I mean, there's like the horseshoes that you can wrap and thread, different threads for different intentions, and you can hang that in your home. I've shown it before. It's in my shop. It has the horseshoe and it's wrapped in green ribbon, and then it has my cinquefoil pendant, and then it has garlic hanging from it and a pentacle. So, and I made that to promote better business. Like, that was my business horseshoe. So like there's that you can do. All sorts of stuff that you can do. Like you could do crafting that night. Whatever night you choose to craft to put your intention in thing. Like you can make the cool stars and like put, either if you do runes or whatever, you can scratch some runes. It depends on what you practice and whatnot, but the bones are similar to everything else. So, I don't think I have any questions, and we are at least a half an hour in, and now I feel like I'm rambling. Yes, Christina was gonna do, she's gonna do a Sunday school session on those. But yes, I guess that concludes this episode of Sunday school sessions here in Witches and Heathens of CNY. So if anyone that watches this later on has any questions, go ahead and post them right on this school session and we'll see it. Or message me directly. If you need any suggestions, whatever, give me a message. But that is it for tonight. So thank you everybody for watching who did watch, and I'm sorry for coming on so late, but we're still finishing up around the same time. I'm excited for New Year's Eve. If you have any pictures that you do some fun cool stuff on New Year's Eve, go ahead and post them in the group. It'll be fun. You're like, this is what I did on New Year's Eve. It was so powerful. Because it will be. Especially we just had a new moon, so it's just like perfect, you know? Perfect. Alright. Good night, everybody. Signing out here on our live. Good night. And I'm sure I'll see you soon. Bye.